Hi everybody, welcome back to my art journaling channel. So today I'm working on a double page spread in my Square Dilutions journal, and I'm just adding some gesso to the pages. I'm going to be using a magazine image today, so I'm just looking through this magazine and selecting one that kind of fits the bill. I did have an idea in mind of what I wanted to do before I started this page, so it took me a bit of time to find the image that was, nearly right. There wasn't anything perfect, so I had to go with what was nearly right. So first of all, I've added some lemon to the page, Dina Wakley Media paint, and then I'm going in with magenta, and then I'm going to use turquoise. These three colours are three of my favourite colours that work together so nicely. I love the way they look together, I love the way they blend with each other. They're so pretty. So I've added those, you can see, in sort of diagonal stripes across the page with areas where they've blended. And then I decided that I would just accentuate those blended areas by adding some of the colour that it had kind of made. So I've used some cheddar there between the lemon and the magenta, and then I'm just going to use Amsterdam acrylics in ultramarine violet and just accentuate that lilac-y colour that the magenta and turquoise made. Then I'm giving it a quick dry, and I'm using this stencil with some carnation paint. I didn't use white because I didn't want it to be too stark, so I thought the carnation, it's a lovely pale pink colour. I thought that would work quite well too. I'm afraid I don't know where this stencil is from. I've had it ever such a long time, so sorry about that. If anybody does know and you want to comment below the video just to let other people know, that would be much appreciated. This is a Carabelle Studio stencil called Composition Calligraphique. Excuse my bad French accent. And I've used some of the Amsterdam acrylic lavender colour paint with this, and some of the cheddar on the right hand side. So now I've broken up the background with a bit of stenciling. I'm just cutting out this image from the magazine of this lady with her arm in the air, and strangely she's going to be hanging upside down from the top of the page. So I'm just fussy cutting her out, and then you can see I'm just auditioning her just to see where she's going to work best. And should I turn the page that way? Just faffing about, trying to make sure that it was going to be in the right place. I really wanted her to have two arms sort of up in the air, and you'll see why in a little bit, but one was okay. So I'm just sticking her in place using a glue stick. Just making sure it's all stuck down properly. And then I'm using some black gesso, and I'm just going to paint some stripes across the page. So it's going to be like she's holding, I suppose, like some notices hanging down. I'm going to do some lines looking like these are joined together. Just a crazy idea that I had the other day. So the black really pops against those colours on the background. I love how that works together. So then I'm using a Posca pen and a white gel pen. I think it's a Signo Uniball, and I'm just starting to put the marks on them to make them look like they are notices that are joined together. You can see I've drawn a line from the top going through her hand like she's hanging and holding it down. I've also used the white gel pen just to put some lines on the top and bottom of each of the black stripes. And then I'm using a white Posca pen, and I'm just adding my quote onto those boards. Using whites, it really pops, it really does stand out nice. And I'm really liking the way the colours are working with the black accent and then the white writing. I was having a bit of difficulty getting this Posca pen to keep writing. As you can see, I keep having to go and faff about at the side. I don't know why. The ink was coming through, but it just wasn't flowing very well. So there we go. Anyway, it got there in the end. Then I'm just using a pit marker pen. I'm just going round the lady, just adding a little bit of shadow round her just to try and help pop her out a little bit. And then I found these stamped images. They're from one of the Dina Wakley stamp sets with the botanical stencil, sorry, not stencil, stamp. And I've actually stamped these using scribble sticks. This is a technique that Dina Wakley's done in one of her demos, which you can find on her YouTube channel if you don't know how to do it. So I've just fussy cut those out. I'm just going to stick them on, just sort of trying to, I don't know, just kind of fill the page up a little bit more. It felt a little bit empty at the sides, and the colours of these worked really well with what was already on the page. So that's why I decided to use them. And then I decided in between those I was going to doodle a botanical as well myself. So after I've drawn it, I'm just drying it really carefully. Then I'm going in with the white gel pen and just outlining the leaves and doing the same on the other side, but turning my page upside down so it's going to be facing the same way as the piece of collage that I stuck on the page as well. And then I am just adding one in that bottom right hand corner. I think it must have felt a bit unbalanced, so it's kind of an intuitive thing, knowing where to put things. You just, if you think you should do it, then you probably should. Then I'm just adding a bit of mark making and adding in some dots just around where my collage and doodle elements are. It just kind of helps ground them a little bit. Then using again the pit marker pen, I must have felt it needed a bit more shadow. Gave her a couple of little cheeks and a heart. And then I was just priming the posca pen just to get a bit of ink out because I couldn't be bothered to get my paint out again. And I'm just adding some splatters to the page and just covering her face as well. So there we go, there's the finished page. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video.